supportive of the music thing. Hello.
Hi, Tara.
Hi, Sarah.
Hi, I'm Carly.
I mean, I think I know that.
Yeah.
She's only been listening to y'all's music nonstop. She did
Oh
text me.
my
She's
Oh,
like,
God,
I'm
thank
so
you.
obsessed.
Thank
Amazing.
you.
so
Thank
good.
you. Thanks. Yeah, I was just telling everyone a little story about how I came to Nashville. But my family is very musical, so I like grew up on stage, and they were very supportive when I was young. After like writing writing quite a few songs and getting them recorded out here, so they were like, "Yeah, let's make the move." So I moved here when I was only 15, and then graduated high school. And the next year, I met James. So I was like really young still when we met.
I
You're
was just
still
here
young,
on.
man.
Yeah.
I was
I'm
just here
old.
on
I just turned
holiday
30.
or vacation, as you guys would say. So I was just hanging out. I had some time to kill in a coffee shop, and I don't drink coffees, so I was in a coffee shop. So I just wanted tea, but you guys aren't very good at tea over here. So there was
Mhm.
like this whole thing happened where I was trying to order tea, and then I didn't really understand because it was this like very cool hipster barista who was like trying to tell me they didn't really do tea, and then I got all English and like Hugh Grant
He
esque,
was causing a scene.
you know.
Oh
So
no.
so
So that was
Carly was
your
standing
that
behind
was your
me.
first time seeing this man, was him complaining in a coffee shop?
Oh, well, he wasn't complaining. He was like got like, you know that British thing they do when they like don't, they're like, "Oh, I don't really know like what to get." So he just seemed like so like
Like a
not,
lost puppy.
yeah. Yeah. So I was just like, "Hey, this is the tea that I get. You want to try it?" And then we sat down and had tea together. So
That is the
What
cutest thing
happened after
ever.
that? Y'all started talking about how y'all both sing, or
Yeah, we started
yeah,
talking about
yeah.
music. We talked a lot about the Beatles. Carly was really big into the Beatles at that point, and my family's from Liverpool, so there was like a big connection right
Oh,
there.
instant
Um,
connection.
Yeah, yeah.
exactly, and then just music in general. You
Yeah.
just we're in Nashville, and I was there for music purposes. She was there for music purposes. We just started chatting about all that sort of stuff, and then we just clicked. I think it was a couple of days later we got together and wrote a couple of songs together.
Yeah.
were you doing country music already? Because from my understanding, country music isn't all that big in the UK.
It's
Yeah,
really
it's
not
not.
all that big. I wasn't doing country music. I was doing, I guess, like singer songwriter stuff, but it had a country edge, and I didn't even realize because I didn't know what country music was. So people in England would be like, "Hey, what genre are you?" Like, I would be like meeting with managers and record labels and things in the UK, and they'd be like, "Hey, we don't really know where this fits," and I'd be like, "No, I don't really know where this fits either." And then I came to Nashville just for a short trip, and I was like, "Oh, this is where it fits. Like, this is my stuff
Oh,
is like Americana country," and I had
Yeah.
I had no idea, I had like no clue whatsoever. So if someone was listening to country radio, I was like, "Oh, this is the type of stuff I'm doing," but I just didn't know what it was. So
Who
it's
were
kind of
your influences that make you get to that point?
I guess it was. I mean, I come from a rock background, and I so there's always a rock edge to what I do. I used to play in like
I
metal
love
bands
that. I'm a
and stuff
huge
like
Def Leppard guy, so
Oh,
okay,
nice.
awesome. So yeah, I never played with Def Leppard, but I did meet them a couple of times at some events when I was doing the metal thing. We used to go out on the road with bands like Motley Crue and Papa Roach and things like that. So we were like, it was a heavy band. It was a far cry from what what we do now.
Wait, you have to tell them what they were called. That way they know how heavy.
Okay, yeah, the band that I was in was called Heaven's Basement. So
Yeah.
but
yeah.
Crazy.
I just love all kinds of music. So I guess at that time I was listening to a lot of James Taylor and Neil Young stuff. So that's probably what was edging in the. I know they're not typically country, but it has those elements, and certainly has the elements of like the American folk rather than the British folk. So that was probably what was edging into my music at that point.
Yeah.
And then
But I
Carly,
had
what about
to,
you?
yeah, I had to introduce him to George Strait.
Oh,
I was
okay.
like,
So did you
I'm like,
grow up listening to country music?
oh yeah, like in my
Yeah,
household it was like strictly country.
I love
Um,
that.
crazy. But yeah, like I grew up on like George Strait and Patsy Cline and
Mm.
Juice Newton, and you know, but the Dixie Chicks or the Chicks is you know, where I was like, oh, this is what I want to do. They definitely were my inspiration.
So
for sure.
Just to sum up how little I knew about country music, I think this will make you laugh. When the first time I met Karli on my second trip to Nashville. The first time I came with my best friend from childhood. We've been friends since we were like, 8, 9 years old. He's a musician as well. We came together. We met this songwriter in Nashville, and we were hanging out with him quite a lot. We became good friends with him. His name is Chris Wallen. We didn't really know, but it turns out he had written 4 or 5 #1 songs, so he was a big deal. But I think he loved the fact that we had no idea that he was a big deal. We just hung out with him because we liked him. But he just got the latest Garth Brooks single at the time. That was his big thing, and he told us like on like the 4th time we were hanging out, he's just like, yeah. So the exciting thing for me right now is that the new Garth Brooks single is something that I wrote. So like this is a really big exciting time for me. We didn't know who Garth Brooks was. Never heard of him in our lives. So we were just like,
y'all knew who Garth Brooks was?
No.
Me.
Him and his friend.
Okay, you said you.
Yeah, of course I
okay.
did.
Okay.
So we were just like, okay, cool, man. Like, yeah. And he was like, huh? That's
It's
it.
really sad. Don't worry, he knows who Garth Brooks is.
Now I do.
He was number 1.
That's how little I knew about country music.
Boy.
Yeah, but now I know an awful lot more.
Well, good. I would hope so.
It's been a crash course for 5 to 6 years. So,
well, who
Did you both grow up on?
Who became your favorite country artist once you learned?
That is a really tough question. I think I would always probably go towards Zac Brown Band.
Oh, they are so good live.
Yeah,
they are.
And like they're just such a I'm a musician, so like they're such a musician's band. Like every single one of them is just like so amazing at what they do, and their live show is incredible, and they have great songs. I think I would go, if I could take one country band or artist, I think that's who I'd go with. There's a lot of great ones, so that's a really hard question, but I'll go. I'm comfortable with Zac Brown band.
Yeah. They're good ones to be with. So then, like, speaking of a crash course, though, and everything, so you guys have been together for quite a while, but for this past year, though, like, what have been some of, like, the best accomplishments since, we're coming to a year's end? What are you guys, like, super, super proud of?
I think...
Well, I was going to say, really, like, the music that we've written this year and recorded is what we feel most proud of right now, because we feel like we've finally found the sound, because it doesn't happen overnight or even in a couple of years, especially when like you come together as a duo. But like we knew there was something special there that we, which is why we ended up writing and making music together in the first place. But I feel like we really honed in on like what we want to say and who we are, and we put out a super cool, new song that like odes to like the 90s country thing, which is what I grew up on.
You're talking about I Need Neon, correct?
Yes.
That's correct.
Just put out everybody's like Christmas, correct too, right?
Yes. Yeah. Every day's like Christmas.
Yeah, every day.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I think also just I Need Neon was a big thing for us because that was on CMT. So we've been playing on the television all over America, which is always super exciting. And it just got to number 2 on the CMT.
Yeah, you know what? Thanks to your help, Don, because you reposted, like, we didn't ask or anything. You were just so sweet and supportive of all your friends, and we really appreciate that. You reposting it.
Yeah, that was awesome, really. And so that was a big accomplishment for us this year.
Yeah.
We beat.
Talk about I Need Neon, because you guys had Porter Howell from Little Texas on this. So how did you guys meet him, and how did that relationship come about, and how did the collaboration start?
Yeah, we've known Porter for a while now.
It's probably been almost 4 years, or pretty much 4 years.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah.
So he's actually dating our manager. Our author manager.
Okay, that inside.
They weren't dating when we first started working with Michelle. We've been working with Michelle almost since day one. So I think we were only a duo.
What?
So she seems very sweet, by the way, Michelle.
Oh,
She's awesome. She's great.
So she's amazing with like, you know,
Very
all the
supportive.
business and everything, but just like one of the
A great
best
friend.
humans that you could imagine. So we're very blessed to have her in our life on so many levels. But she's been with us since probably only 6 months into our career of being a duo.
Yeah.
Initially we signed to a different management company where she worked, and Michelle was kind of like, you know, part of the team and our day-to-day. And then Michelle left the company and we went with her. And then, yeah, it was probably 2 to 3 years down the line of being with Michelle, and you know, she started dating this new guy, and we didn't know who it was that she was dating to begin with. It was all kind of exciting. She brought him along to a gig, and we're like, oh, look who this is.
Like, okay, that's
have to
Porter
explain
House,
God bless Texas to you.
No big deal.
Yeah. But he's been one of the biggest supporters of us here in Nashville, and like again, just one of the nicest and humblest humans in the world. Like he's so humble.
We have to remind him who he is all the time. He's just the sweetest human on earth. He's like so cool.
Yeah. But yeah, we've written quite a few of our singles with him.
Yes, he has been nice enough to like really, you know, help. I think we've actually written probably the half of the stuff we record is like his name is on it.
Yeah, probably.
Because he loves to write with us so much, and like he's helped us really find, you know, that sound that we found.
He's such an incredible writer that he's just amazing as a mentor. He holds you to a higher level than, so when you're collaborating and writing with other people, you know, one of the reasons it makes for better songs than just writing on your own is that people hold you to a higher level, and then you hold them to a higher level, and then hopefully that means you get something better than if you just, when you're on your own, you go, cool, that'll work, and you move on. Porter is amazing at holding everybody to a level and pushing everyone to get more. And I mean, he can write a number one song on his own anyway, so like his level is pretty high. It's just amazing to be in a room and learn from people like that.
Aww. Let's talk about this line dance. Go ahead, Tara.
Well, I was gonna say, like, what kind of is your sound now that you've established it? Like, how would you describe it, you know?
Yeah, I think it's always hard to describe in like a few words, but since I grew up on pure like what I call Rolling Hills country music, because it's like that kind of dreamy, like George Strait kind of stuff, not like the, I don't know, let's say like desert country. I feel like they're very different.
Yeah.
And then putting James's like alternative kind of fun rock thing in there with the melodies. I feel like that's how we would kind of describe it. So it's like,
that's pretty much it.
Rock?
We're definitely I think we both come from a very organic music background. You know, neither of us are from the pop world. So even though like it's rock music for me, everything was always very much like live instruments, you know, people in a room playing together, and that's the synergy of the music. And it's the same with you. The music you were listening to was, you know, it's all very live feeling. It's, you know, people in a studio on stage together, that synergy of people coming together, which is, I think that's a really key part of what we do. When not that there's anything wrong with, you know, making computer-based music, but that's more where the world is headed to right now. We're, you know, very much more down that organic
thing.
So when you guys are recording, is it for the most part like all separate instruments that you do and then you put the vocals on top, or is it kind of like a mixture of everything?
Yeah, I produce our stuff. And
do you really? Because I sincerely wanted to tell you guys, whoever produces y'all's music does a really great job. My brother's a producer, so yeah, you do a great job. It's very well produced.
That's always great to hear.
Did they freeze?
I think they
froze a little bit. Yeah. Wait, are we back now?
Okay, yeah, you guys froze for a second.
I hope it's not just us.
Okay, we're back.
We've kind of
we're back. We're good. We're back.
Hopefully it'll pop back.
We can't hear you. Maybe. Uh-oh.
Is it me?
Technical issues. Oh, there we go. I think we're back.
Are we back?
Okay.
This is how you know it's live.
Thumbs up.
Technical issues is how you know everything is real.
They're just moving very slowly.
Yeah, I don't know if it's us or I don't know whose end it's on. I'm sure we'll come back eventually. Okay.
Oh wait, we're back.
How about, are we good? Now Tara's frozen.
We were back for an instant.
I turned mine off Wi-Fi. Might be
Oh,
terrible.
Yes.
Oh, boy.
yes, we can hear you.
Are we back?
I hear y'all.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're good.
Oh no. Yes. Okay. Okay.
Okay, yeah, we're
I think
good.
we have you back now.
Yeah.
Exciting. Okay, you guys are moving all fine on
Maybe.
mine.
What about me?
Yeah, I hear
Oh,
both of y'all
okay.
fine.
Yeah, we just can't
Yeah?
hear Tara.
Okay.
She's back. We're good.
I think we're good. we'll keep
Where
plowing
were
on.
we?
Yeah. I don't know what we missed. There was a lot of mouth movement with
Yeah.
sound. So
That's
I
music.
think we were talking about the producing side.
But yeah, you said that you produce everything.
yeah, this is my little studio that we're in right now, chatting to you from. And my approach is that I demo everything, with just me playing basically every instrument and get stuff kind of 80% there, and then we go into studio with a band of 5 or 6 guys, and we do everything live and for real, right there in a good sized studio.
Now, who taught you to produce? Because my brother has spent hours paying producers, watching their tutorial videos, watching YouTube stuff. So did someone teach you, or did you just watch online also?
A mixture. I mean, there's always some good online content. I definitely have consumed my fair share of that stuff. I think a lot of it is just being around it, to be honest. I was, first time in a proper studio. Well, I did go to school for like audio engineering, not specifically for producing. So I did a couple of years when I was 16. I went to a school that specialized in that kind of stuff. So I definitely learned a lot of the aspects there, but that was more technical rather than creative. That was, how to make it happen, but it didn't teach you like how to have the process of how to produce something for radio, what have you. But then ever since I came out of school, I've been a professional musician. So, and I didn't become a producer right off the bat. So just picking up from other people, I've been fortunate to work with with some really successful top producers as well, and I noticed that they all pretty much worked in the same way. So
Gotcha.
just kind of, I'm a bit of a sponge with everything. I just watch people work, and then if I see it once or twice, I can normally pick up on it.
That's good.
So can you pick up the line dance?
I think I picked it up quicker than you thought I was going to.
He does pick it up because like that school that he went to as well, they had to dance and stuff. It was like a music school. So he picks things up, but he is stiff.
I might know an instructor. There might be one in this chat room who could probably help with that.
Yeah, I think so.
How did y'all even decide that you were like, oh, we're going to do a line dance to this song? How did you put it out? I mean, I would love to hear all of that.
Yeah. Oh, honestly, when we first wrote this song, we were like, it's not really us. Like, it was like more of like, oh, that's kind of too country. I don't know. Like, at first we were kind of like, I don't know. And then I think you produced a lot of it.
Yeah.
And our manager, Michelle, actually was like, hey, this sounds really cool and super fun. And she was like, we could really do something with this and, get people line dancing or something. I was like, oh, that's such a good idea. And so
the line dance, I see someone asking what song. The song is
I Need
Neon by us, Karli and James. And the line dance was definitely our manager Michelle's idea.
Yeah.
We knew we wanted to do a music video, and we knew we wanted to do like a kind of old school honky tonk music video that was, just us performing.
Mm-hmm. And we wanted to feature Porter on something really because
yes.
I mean he plays the slide guitar on it, and he's like featured in the music video, Porter Howell of Little Texas.
Yeah. So, and Michelle basically said, well, if we're going to do like a honky tonk performance, then we've got to have a line dance in front of you guys. And she very much made that happen. She got in touch with Stomping Grounds USA, who are based here in Nashville. They choreographed it and they put together all the dancers. Tessa and Dustin, they did all of that stuff, and we just kind of threw them the song and let them work their magic.
Yeah.
Aw, I love that. That's so cool. Bringing in like the little dance community.
It's been so fun. Yeah, I love that. I mean, we would have never met like people like you and gotten more involved in like the line dance side of TikTok and like socials, which is so fun.
And now, do you
it's
guys
something all right.
do you guys country dance at all? Like, do you two-step or triple step, or was this kind of like your first introduction to country dancing?
His first completely.
Yeah. Although weirdly we grew up doing line dancing in England. It was such a trend in the 90s.
Though.
It is different. It was to like pop remixes of country songs. You know, in the 90s, but they were very much like to pop mixes, but they were country songs. You know, like there was that hey hey baby, ooh, remember that?
Yeah.
There was a dance remix in like 97. Do you remember that like dance remix?
He's gonna do that next on TikTok. You gotta show me.
Yeah.
I remember being at school discos and we would line dance to that stuff. We didn't even know it was like a country thing. I don't know. It was just very in when I was a kid. So I guess I did grow up doing some line dancing. It's weird how things cross over and you have no idea of the relevance to how, you know, how like, you know, from a different part of the world. When you're a kid, you're like, cool, we're doing this. Okay.
Yeah. I like never did a lot of line dancing, but when I first came to Nashville, like I said, I was only 15, and the only all ages place is the Wild Horse Saloon here in Nashville. And it's where I could go and hang out with my friends, and so I would just go line dance. You know. And my best friend Mary Sarah, if you guys don't know who she is, she's amazing. She's a country artist as well. And she taught me how to two-step, so we go out and just two-step, me and her.
Nice. Where do you guys go out and two-step?
Oh, just wherever, at a bar in Nashville. Robert's Western World downtown has, you know, old school country,
old school music
type of thing. So.
Yeah. Well, what about you guys? How did you guys get into? Has this been ever like? Have you always been doing line dancing, country dancing, or is?
Before we answer that, I want Tara to break some news to you guys because I think she's teaching a certain dance next week. I believe she said.
Dogs.
Oh, the dog is so excited about it.
Hey, I know. I have 2 dogs, and they sometimes, I swear, hey, back here, back over here.
They just love exciting news.
For real. They really do. But I am going to teach your dance tomorrow for my line dance night that I do virtually. Yeah, with Kenzie. And so we're going to have quite a few people there. We're going to record it. But then I'm also going to teach it at my dance hall on Thursday night at my big dance lesson. And then we are going to have that played every single week while I'm there on Thursdays to keep having that song played over and over. I'm definitely going to try and get the music video to actually like be on the background during it, like during the actual line dance night part too. We brought it to Texas. It's happening.
That is so
You're
cool.
the best.
I've been waiting for it to get Texas.
Well, I love the song. Like, the song is so good and it's so much fun to dance to. There's definitely a beat. So I was just like, everyone's going to fall in love with this for sure.
And y'all know my personal favorite, Call It a Night. We're still going to do a line dance to that also.
Oh, I can't wait.
Amazing. Well, there is no official line dance to that one.
I know, but I listened to that song because after I first met you guys, I was looking on listening to you guys on Spotify. And I listened to that song. I just instantly fell.
You went deep. Yeah, you went deep into early Karli
James. I was looking up you guys have a lot of videos on YouTube, a lot of music videos. So I was watching there and I heard the acoustics and I was just like, wow, this is a really beautiful song. So I love that one. It's
that's so cool. Thank you so much. I cannot wait to see that.
It's
my band.
Me too. I'm so excited that you're taking it to Texas. That's so awesome.
Hell yeah.
We really appreciate y'all's support.
Of course.
Well, it's again, honestly, the song speaks for itself too. So it's like, I love supporting artists, but especially when you create such something that's just so amazing and it's definitely going to fit into the country world. I want it to, I want to do as much as I can to really help that because you could even have really big name artists with some of their songs. I'm like, I don't really want to dance to it. I'm just being honest. There are some hits and then there are some bad hits. And if there's a really good hit and there's really good music, it doesn't matter who the people are. It deserves to be played. If it can dance, like, and that's what like dancers, at least at our bar, that's all we care about. Is it a good beat? Do we like the song? Do we like, you know, what it's saying? Does it make me feel good? That's why I fell in love with country music anyways. It's just the feeling that you get. So you could hear that coming from your song, that you guys put like your feelings into it and like what, you know, your music is all about. And so, I mean, it deserves like the world. No wonder it's on CMT.
That is so kind. Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course.
But Tara, to answer James' question, I'll let you go ahead and answer about how long you've been dancing.
Yeah.
Oh, no, geez. I mean, I've been dancing since I was 3. You know, everybody goes into ballet, tap, jazz, that type of thing. Carly, did you ever do the little classes when you were younger?
I did. Yeah. I wish I would have stuck with it. I just didn't like the tutus.
Yeah, and like the little just turning around, watching the teacher, like, what do I do? Yeah, I mean, I grew up doing all of that and I stayed dancing, but surprisingly enough, Los Angeles and just California in general has so much line dancing. Like, so much. It is insane. There's not a lot of partner dancing, but there's a lot of line dancing. And so that's where I fell in love with it. And that's where I started. And now there's not a lot of it in Texas because men like to dance with their women and not next to them, is what they like to say. Yeah. But hello, we don't need no man. We can dance on our own. Thank you very much.
That's right.
That's what I love to say. We don't need no men. But yeah, now I bring it here. Now I'm the instructor. And so I'm dancing like 2, 3, 4 times a week. And just, yeah, that's my life now.
Which she always talks about LA and Texas, but she has an 843 area code, which is the South Carolina area code. She never brings up South Carolina. I'm a little bothered by that.
I grew up there, but that's not where like the story starts.
Technically,
where a story starts.
I mean, yeah, but okay. I grew up on Hilton Head, South Carolina.
Now we're talking, baby. Represent.
Small island, but
beautiful island though.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's very tourist attraction. There's like nothing to do. Hey,
play golf.
Yeah, no thanks.
And you're only an hour from Savannah too. In Hilton Head.
True, but yeah.
But to answer your question, so I hated bars. I didn't even listen to country music. I did as a kid. So I listened to Shania Twain and Alan Jackson as a kid. Those were my favorite. Yeah. My parents would laugh because anytime Lil Bitty came on, I would be asleep in the back car and my leg would just start kicking. So Chattahoochee and Lil Bitty, I love those songs, and Shania Twain, of course. Then I went away from country music. My dad grew me up on 80s rock. So I grew up listening to like Def Leppard and Van Halen and Styx and Journey. And I didn't even own a pair of jeans. And then I hated going to bars. I was playing golf competitively. So then I went to my local country bar called Honky Tonk Saloon. And I liked it because they actually played songs from start to finish. Because you go to downtown Charleston, it's all super packed, and it's all DJ music. You play 30 seconds of this hip hop song, 30 seconds of that, and I was like, I just want to listen to a song from start to finish. And so I just liked it. And then I listened to. Well, actually, I remember I was playing golf, and Cole Swindell came on, and I was like, Flatliner came on with Dierks Bentley, and it was kind of like rockish vibe to it. And I was like, kind of like this. That's what drove me to go to Honky Tonk. And I thought it'd be a healthy way to meet a girl. You know, I was like, you can ask a girl to dance and get to know them and everything.
That's a pretty good line dancing song. That one's got a good beat to it. They've danced. I think we did dance once at the Wild Horse to that one.
I think there is one to that one. Yes, I believe so. But long story short, danced there for 3 years, and then all of a sudden my TikTok blows up from me dancing, and then people are asking me, to teach them and stuff, and I'm like, I have no idea how to dance. Like, I've never been taught. And then I started going to a ballroom studio 14 months ago and been learning ballroom since then. So
that's awesome.
And
I love watching your ballroom dancing ones too. It's so cool.
I get a lot of crap for that because I'm not that good at it. I mean, I'm decent right now, but like, especially when I first started, all my fans on here were like, "You're much better at country. We don't want to watch this."
People can be harsh.
Yeah, you're like, I'm trying to learn a new skill.
I know, and I'm trying to bring the people along with it, but they're like, "This isn't as good as your country stuff. We don't like it." And I'm like, "Well, can you give me some time to learn this stuff?"
Yeah, be part of the process. That's
exactly. But people,
to me, that's like one of the most interesting things with anything is like to be a part of the process. Like, sure, it's great to see the end product, but I love to see the journey.
Well, let's talk about that with you guys, though. I mean, how did you guys decide, hey, we're going to become we're going to pursue this career in singing? And I mean, everybody's got haters. So do y'all have haters? Y'all people tell you that career is not for you? Is there anything that happened that you guys are like, this is motivation that fuels you guys every day?
Well,
yeah.
I always say that once you have haters, then
you're doing something
right, because you have to reach a certain level where people think that it's worthwhile hating on you. I don't know if that's just how I psychologically get over that stuff, but it's true. Like if you're not making any waves or doing anything, then no one's going to say anything negative because nobody even knows that you're there. So having haters is not necessarily something I perceive as a bad thing.
Yeah.
But we don't have too much of that. We don't do anything too controversial, I don't think. So we're not too bad. I used to get a lot more of that in the rock world. So yeah, but in terms of like how we ended up doing, you can take that one over.
Yeah, I think growing up singing in a very small town, I will say it's very sad that a lot of times girls aren't very supportive of girls, and I was told a lot that, I just don't like listening to girl songs. So no, I don't really enjoy female artists. And that always bothered me. And I'm like, well, that's where we need to start then. Like, so I always like listen to female country artists as much as possible, like Shania Twain, Miranda Lambert, Kelsey, like love them to death. And I thought, that is my fuel. That's my fire. And I can do this and it's going to be good. So I just keep going. And yes, I found a partner along the way, but he just makes it better. So yeah, that's kind of my thing, to keep going because I love it. I love listening to females and I think that there needs to be more of that. And another thing is that we live in Nashville and you do get a lot of no's, a lot. But I do know one thing, that if you stay in Nashville long enough and you're consistent and you keep at it and you don't take no for an answer, then your time comes. So
that's true.
So what, like, since you guys been in Nashville for a while, what is your day-to-day like? I mean, do you like wake up, pour some tea, and then start doing like songs all day, every day? Or like what? Yeah, talk me through that.
Yeah, our day-to-day, we are big gym goers actually. So like we wake up,
love that.
We get our breakfast in, like some oats, protein oats or something. And we go straight to the gym in the morning. And we just like, if we are feeling frustrated, that's like where we get it out, and we just go and
we go together.
We go
together. So
together,
like if one of us doesn't want to go, the other one drags that person along. Yeah. So
it's nice.
Kind of help each other in that sense. I do a lot of production for other people. That's kind of the day job that pays the bills. So you can find me most of the time in my studio, working on songs for either us or for other people.
Mm-hmm. And I am a songwriter. That's what I do. For to actually make money as a songwriter, what I do is I write for a company called Songfinch. So I write personalized songs for people through this company called Songfinch, and that's like my day job, if you will. So yeah, it's great. I love it. So he produces, I write songs. We tried to come up with some content and post. And we go to writing sessions and we go out and see our friends play or play some shows.
2 to 3 times a week we'll be out playing shows, whether that's here in Nashville or out on the road. It's basically very music centered. Sorry, what was that?
I say, how do y'all balance that though, focusing on your career while also, helping others, even though that you're being paid for that too?
Yeah.
I don't know. you just keep going.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like any other job. We're lucky because we get to do music as our main job, but it would be like, if you had to go. Well, I did have like a job where I was like working in a barber shop for a while, and that's still kind of the same thing where you have to go and work your job and actually make a living and make money. But then when you get home and you're able to have that space to just dive in and hopefully be able to be creative. But honestly, writing songs every day, like, it doesn't really take away my creativity. It just kind of like fuels it and it keeps it ticking almost. So
it's kind of like a muscle. So
yeah,
you're kind of working out the brain.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't really know. You just do, when you do, even when I'm working for other people, I still love making music. So I think that's the fire and that's the fuel. And you just keep, it doesn't really, I don't know, somehow you just get everything done. And you don't really even notice that it was a lot.
It's just a 24-hour thing, really. Like, I'm sure, as you guys know, like also being on socials now, it doesn't really stop, as a job. So like, we may have a lot going on that week where we have to work on other people's stuff, but on the weekend we'll make sure that, James is like producing a demo for us or something. So
yeah.
I mean, I admire the fact that you guys literally get to just do what you love all day. But tell me about the times when you didn't get to do that. What were some of the weirdest jobs you've ever
had? Yeah.
I haven't had that. I've been very lucky. I came out of school and I haven't done an awful lot.
He's lucky.
The worst time for me, I had 2 years. I had 2 years in London when. Yeah. So I was in this band. The band was quite successful. We did well. I left the band, and then I was in another band. It did okay as well. And then I needed to move to London to help progress that. London was super expensive. So that was the first time. I was about 23, 24 at that point when I had to get a job to help to supplement my income. And that's when I ended up doing door-to-door sales because that was the only flexible job I could find in London. So I was doing door-to-door sales and I turned out I was quite good at it. So that's how I ended up coming to Nashville, actually, is I was doing door-to-door sales, and within a year I'd been promoted and had my own sales team, and I was suddenly working full-time and barely doing music. And then suddenly after a year of that, I was like, what the hell am I doing? I'm just like Mr. Corporate running a sales team over here for this big multi-million-pound company. What? This isn't what I came to London to do. It just suddenly happened. So then I was in the pub with my best friend, and I was like, listen, dude, we got to do something. Let's go somewhere where music is the heart and soul, and let's just go and see how let's get re-inspired. So that's why we came to Nashville for a couple of months, and that was where everything really kind of kicked off for me again. But that's really the weirdest job I've done is working door-to-door sales.
Yeah.
Outside of that, and even
which isn't a fun one.
It's not a fun one. It's hot in the summer and cold in the winter, and there's not a lot of in between.
Yeah.
Yikes.
I've done quite a few different jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say the hardest one was when I decided, I need to be able to do things at night for music, so I'm going to work at this restaurant and work the morning shift. So I was the host at a place called Pinewood Social here in Nashville for a while, and I was there at 6 a.m. in the mornings. And it kind of killed me.
Yeah, because you were still on stage at 11 p.m. the night before, night in, night out. So, it really added up.
Also a weird one because it was a popular place to come. So there was a lot of music business meetings at 7 a.m. in the morning. So you would see people come in, and it's that awkward thing, especially in Nashville, you can't say anything because you're working there to this person. So it kind of a weird thing as well.
Sometimes someone will come in for a business meeting who we had a business meeting with 3 days earlier.
Yeah.
But you were then in working at a restaurant mode, so there's this weird barrier.
Yeah, it kind of I know, like, you're supposed to work, yes, but like they see you working and it's like, oh, she's just working, and
Yeah.
it's kind of like I just didn't, yeah. So that was a weird one for me. And then I worked at a barbershop, like I mentioned, which just had some very interesting things. And there's working at a barbershop, I just have to say it, like men's beard hair gets everywhere. It's so gross.
Yeah, I mean, mine leaves his all over the sink, so I deal with that every morning.
Yeah, so I would like come home just like with beard hair, men's coarse hair. It's fine, but like that was a weird one for me.
Still not. I mean, really, we haven't done that much weird stuff.
No,
we haven't. We've
I
mostly.
I haven't worked at a hot dog cart or anything like that.
But you guys are normal people. Like, you've had those normal jobs, but now you get to do what you love, and that's so amazing. I bet you're like super proud that you just wake up and do what you like to do.
Yeah, it's very recent that I've been able to do that as well. So I'm just like very, very thankful.
When I first came to Nashville, before I moved here, because getting a visa is a really, really big, hard, arduous task. Probably the hardest thing I've done in my life to do everything correctly. And it took about 2 years for me to get my visa to move to America. So in the interim, I was coming backwards and forwards a lot, and I didn't have a visa, so I wasn't really able to work here. We could play a few shows and stuff, but not paid shows and things like that. So I would come to Nashville and we would write and we would take meetings, and that's how we got our management deal, and we got a booking agent. We put all those things, we lined up all those ducks to help me get a visa, basically. But I would come here for like 4 to 5 weeks, and then I'll be back in the UK for like 7 or 8 weeks, and I was literally doing that. So to fund the backwards and forwards, I was working like 3 jobs back home. I moved back in with my mum and dad. They had a spare room, so I was just kind of camping out there. But I went to work during the daytime. I worked at the equivalent of Walgreens, and then I'll go straight from there. I'd work from there 8 till 5. And then at 5:30, I would start my shift at the restaurant, and I'd work in a restaurant till about 11 or midnight. And I would start again at the Walgreens the next day for 5 days a week. And then on Saturday and Sunday, I would play an afternoon gig and an evening gig at a restaurant. So I would just go home and just work solid just
Good for you. That's
just
so
to
awesome.
allow me to come back to Nashville. And and that was totally fine. So I was doing it for like 6 or 7 weeks. You just get your head down, you crack on. But I managed to do a bunch of jobs all at once, all at the same time.
That sounds exhausting, but don't know how you did that.
Hey, you don't make it unless you put yourself out there and work hard. So there are a lot of people who are too afraid to work that. So that's awesome. I love that work ethic, which is why we do what we do, trying to help you guys, because we can tell you guys put so much hard work and effort into that. And
thank you.
If you
it's easy to put hard work and effort in there when there's an obvious payoff. Every time I would then jump on an airplane and be headed back to Nashville, I'd be like, this is why I did this. And that's amazing. Like, it wasn't like I had to wait years and years for that.
Every time he saw me, he'd be like, oh yeah.
I see why Karli married you. Karli, you did a good job on picking a good man.
I did. Yeah, it was very obvious from the day I met him. I was like, yep.
How'd that work ethic come about? Was that something your parents instilled in you growing up to, push yourself and work that hard?
Oh yeah, my mom and dad are workers.
Oh yeah,
they
retired very early actually, but
they did. Yeah, my parents were retired by 45, but they came from very nothing. My dad came from a very, very poor background. And he just kind of hauled himself out of that. So he always instilled into me that, I came from a very middle class background. I didn't have anything to haul myself out of, but he made it very clear that that was what was expected in life. He wasn't going to give me any massive handouts. So if I wanted something, I had to work for it. That's just like they did. I think your parents are very much the same.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, they are.
That's what creates success. Is obviously you guys have a ton of talent, but you have to work hard at it too. So kudos to you for working hard.
But speaking of talent, though, can I hear y'all sing live?
Yeah. Yeah, we can do that.
Definitely.
Hold up. The
Yeah.
guitars are behind the camera, so we're going to disappear for 1 second.
Can you hand me mine?
Yep.
Cool.
Exciting. Our own personal concert.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
What are we doing?
Do you want to play Nathan? Don't spin that into my guitar, please.
Okay.
Just trying to squeeze in here. Yeah, just don't move the chair. We'll be fine.
The fact that you guys
cozy.
are literally like, yeah, we'll go and sing right now. I'm like, I love that because I know
No
some
warm
people,
ups.
they're just not going to. And so I love the fact you guys are like, we're ready. Let's go.
Yeah, we're ready.
Yeah, we're going to do I Need Neon.
Ooh.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Head down in the dumps, kicking rocks, feeling sorry for myself. I've had enough. Tonight's the night, gonna try me something else. For my mental health, I need neon, a honky-tonk song, a little boots, good to step into the heartbreak's gone. Give me rhinestones, I want some bell buckles, I need a juke joint, cowboy kiss that tastes like honeysuckle. Yep, if you wanna turn me on, I need neon. On the outskirts, past the river, where the beer flows, there's a roadhouse on. Where there's a cigarette I can light up and get a good buzz, buzzing around in my brain. Like I'm off onto a flame. I need neon, a honky-tonk song, a little boots, two stepping till the heartbreak's gone. Give me rhinestones, I want some bell buckles, I need a juke joint, cowboy kiss that tastes like honeysuckle. Yep, if you want to turn me on, I need neon. I got a cousin in the house band, and for $5, he'll play you anything you want. I need neon, a honky-tonk song, a little boots, tootin', two-stepping till the heartbreak's gone. Give you rhinestones, I want some bell buckles, I need a juke joint, cowboy kiss that tastes like honeysuckle. Yep, if you wanna turn me on, I need neon. I need neon.
Oh, so good.
How on God of green earth can you sing like that?
I am amazed. I mean, not amazed because you were so talented, but like it just sounds so good. Acoustic, it sounds great, and like the production, like it sounds beautiful. I mean, you are Jesus Lord, so talented.
Who taught you?
Thank you very much. That was all pre-recorded. We just mimed.
Figures, yeah.
No, we're so glad to have that song out there. I was thinking back like to earlier, like why we decided to put it out when we did, because we weren't so sure when we wrote it. And I recall like I think it was all like right after COVID happened and everyone kind of like stuck inside and like so afraid to go out.
Yeah, you're right.
And we were like, we just want to go out like and have fun and like see people, and like this song feels like it gives people that like little push and like, you know, chance to get out and just like have fun and like let loose again. So
yeah, I think what I say when we play it live is that sometimes in life you just need some good music, some good drinks, and a little bit of neon.
Yeah, because you do.
Because you do. It's the best medicine, you know? Can be the best medicine. Not always. A lot of the time, that's the best medicine.
Yeah, I mean, I do think that. So then what are you guys looking forward to now that I Need Neon is like doing so well? Kind of what's next on the horizon for y'all?
We have a bunch of stuff recorded, ready to go. It's going to be coming out next year. So we're super excited because it's been done for a few months, and we were going to actually put out the next single in October, but then Neon was doing so well that it wasn't time to finish the cycle of I Need Neon.
Yeah.
Because that's when, just as we were getting set to put out another song, CMT picked up the music video for I Need Neon, and we were like, well,
it's hard to promote.
Yeah, we can't have
too many things.
So, but that was great. That was an absolute blessing to be able to be like, oh, well, this song's doing better than we thought. So that means let's hold back on something else. So we have a new song, the Wine's Gone to My Head, which will be coming out early next year.
Which is also super fun.
Have you released that at all? I mean, is there any clip of that anywhere?
There's a small clip recently, I think, on our TikTok.
We've been playing it live, so it is.
Okay.
It is
okay.
Around,
but it's Wine's Got to My Head.
Wine's Gone to My Head. Yeah.
I mean, I already love the title because I'm obsessed with wine.
So am I.
Drinking red wine this entire time.
Do you want to tell the story about where that? I think it's funny where the song came from.
Yeah. So we've been married for like 3 years now. And right after our wedding, we had like a lot of leftover wine. A lot. And James was like, what are we going to do with all of this? And actually, around this time, unfortunately, we were all kind of going into quarantine. It was like during the COVID time.
There was so much wine that I said, let's buy ourselves a fancy wine rack. Yeah. So we bought this fancy wine rack and we filled it up. It was actually not
fancy. It was from Target.
Yeah, well, it's fancy for us. We're not overly fancy people.
No,
but it looked fancy. We filled it up with wine, and now it's empty.
Yeah,
it's just a wine rack in the corner.
Well, because like I don't like to. I love wine so much, but I can't
red
actually.
Or white,
drink
red or white. We didn't know.
Both.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I'm a red person. Red for me.
He's red all the way.
I
like.
Pinot or Cab?
What?
Pinot or Cab?
Oh, he likes Malbec.
Well, I like a Pinot as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So what's your favorite?
Pinot Noir all day.
Yeah. Pinot Noir would be pretty much my go-to.
Too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I do like a good Bordeaux when I'm in France.
Yes.
I'm very European.
When I'm in France.
I'm very European.
Okay. So we had all this wine, and I was like, well, I mean, I'm at home and we're not doing any gigs because I really can't drink wine before any gigs because it like is the worst for your voice. So I was like, well, we don't have any gigs. I'm just at home, not a lot to do. So I got through all of that wine by myself. And one night I was sitting there.
You didn't get through it all in one night.
No. One night I was sitting there and with my glass of wine, and I was just like, oh no, the wine's gone to my head. And I was like, oh, well, that's a song. And I wrote the chorus, and then we finished it with our friend Porter.
We wrote it with Porter, another Porter Howell song.
Nice.
So yeah. But it came from you sat there spinning around whilst I was making dinner.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Now, is there an EP or an album on the horizon? And another question I had for you guys. You guys said that you guys are independent artists. So do you guys want to get signed by a label? And how do you envision promoting yourselves to continue to grow?
Yeah, there isn't. This is all going to be part of an EP. So we're going to follow up The Wine's Gone to My Head with an EP, which is called Someday Dreaming. That will be a single as well. That'll be the title track, which is very much an indication of like where we are with our relationship and our life. So it's a romantic, kind of sweet, hopefully, and truthful country song. It's very country.
Yeah,
we've got fiddle in there. It's got a real kind of
love a good fiddle.
Me too.
We're excited about that one. So that will be coming out, early next year as well. So yeah, definitely an EP on the horizon. That's pretty much all set to go. Hopefully that will move the needle a little bit further. A record deal would be great if it was the right record deal. Just the same with everything in life. There are some bad record deals and there are good record deals. I think if you put the legwork in and try and build that fan base yourself, then obviously you're in a better position to negotiate a good record deal. We do sadly have some friends who've signed in the past to major record labels and then nothing happens, and because they're signed, they're chained and can't do anything.
You can't do much when you're in a bad label, in a bad contract situation. You're like,
can you elaborate on that a little bit? Like
you're an artist but you can't put out music. If you're with a label who has you contracted and it's not in that contract you're putting out this single then on this date, like and they decide to shelve you, just like take you off the market, basically.
Yeah,
it happens.
There's a lot of complexities, like with everything in life. Sometimes it's politics, sometimes it's not. But sometimes a record label may just want to sign you to make sure the other record label doesn't get to sign you. But it doesn't mean they have a plan. So sometimes they might just stick you, as Carly said, they call it shelving an artist. They stick you on the shelf and you can sit there for a year, 2 years. Sometimes they take you off the shelf and they go and make it happen for you. And sometimes you stay on the shelf for most of your career and then you get drops and nothing happens. You never know. But, the better the contract you sign, the less likely that is to happen. I think the main thing about having a record company behind you is obviously the clout that they have, especially with radio. I think it's pretty much impossible to get a radio hit without
which is our main
record
goal,
label, and
which is what
radio is still king in country. It's, I think, with most other genres, streaming has taken over from radio now, but I think country radio is still powerful. I do think it's diminishing somewhat, but I still think it's got another 5 to 10 years in it. So country radio still breaks artists very much so, and it's very hard to get into that without a record label. But also the finances they bring, if a record label wants to put money behind you and a team
of people,
so we certainly, it's on the list of end all. You have access to certain things nowadays as an artist.
You can definitely make a living doing what you love, and that's like really all you can ask for, so when you're doing what you love.
Do y'all have any plans or ideas on how to continue to promote yourselves to continue to grow your fan base?
I guess just being consistent and just keep putting our stuff out there. I think that's all we can do, and that's honestly all we hear from the industry is just keep being consistent, keep putting your music out there, keep posting to TikTok and do your thing and try your best to be organic and connect with an audience, and hopefully it'll build over time.
At the end of the day though, socials and everything is fantastic and it gives us this amazing reach. We still get most of our hardcore fans when we play shows. If we play a show in front of 500 people, then our goal is, can we make 50 of those people hardcore fans? And then if they can go and tell their friends and family about us, maybe out of that gig we could end up with 100, 150 new proper fans. And that still works.
And it's what we like.
And social media works as well. So if you can kind of harness both of those at the same time, we like to do it both ways, the old school way and the new school way. So we're definitely not people who are just about doing it the social media way or just about doing it the live show way. We can kind of harness both of those.
And we've definitely gotten back into more of the live show thing this year, luckily, and we plan on having even more next year. So we're super excited to travel even more.
It took a while for that all to come back after COVID. That was a real downer after COVID.
Just got married as soon as COVID hit, and then trying to find your way back. Wow. Okay, so you guys are still very brand new.
In a lot of ways,
we are. I would say we've been able to really do it for probably 2 or 3 years.
2 or 3
total,
years. There's that whole chunk of not lost time, but certain aspects that we couldn't hone and explore.
And do y'all have certain goals? Or go ahead, Tara.
No, I was just saying, like, that's exciting because I mean, I know you like lose time, but then you really got to harness everything in. So I think that kind of like maybe catapulted you a little bit more now that you finally can like blossom out of the COVID era and like actually go to all these
Yeah.
places. So yeah, that's really
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, I don't think we have specific goals. We obviously have like goals of always putting one foot in front of the other. We always sit down at the end of the year with Michelle, our manager, and we kind of like look at what we've achieved this year. And I think we've pretty much checked all the boxes that we set for ourselves this year, which is fantastic. So it's almost time to do that end of year meeting, and that's when we kind of set our goals again for next year. I think we have an inkling of kind of, you always do. You kind of have a good idea of what it is you want to achieve, but I couldn't tell you specifics right now. And we never want to bite off more than we can chew. So I think we always try and look at it year at a time.
We're very big dreamers, but we've also had goals where we're like, yeah, we'll play the Opry this year. And then it's like, no.
But you set it as a goal every year, just in case.
Yeah. Yeah.
True.
I mean, to be honest, we always have very big goals, like we want to take this far and travel the world and play music and be on the radio. But what we can do is just like keep working at, what we have control of day to day.
Is it the money? Is it the fame? Is it just the being in front of the people? What motivates y'all to want to do this as a career and to take this further?
Yeah, well, I think just the absolute love of it, honestly, like being on stage, especially with James, like it is so much fun. And like I love to make people feel good and smile. And I love writing songs. Like I'm actually kind of a quiet, shy person, and I'm not very good at like just like talking to people, but I've always been able to write it down and then get on stage and sing it for some reason. So I just feel like that's my voice, and I do have something to sing about and say. So I think that's what keeps us going, and we love doing it together.
Yeah, it's not about making a fortune. If you make a fortune, great. But if we can pay the bills making music, then that's a success as far as I'm concerned. A lot of people don't get to do that. Karli has an amazing skill of being able to connect with every single person in an audience when she sings. She doesn't get to see it, but sometimes I get to be on stage, and whilst I'm having a good time myself, sometimes I kind of just watching her because it's she's incredible, and I get to kind of watch that and watch her do her thing. But yeah, if you guys ever get to see a Zoe live show, which hopefully you will at some point, Karli really has an amazing way of connecting with people.
That's where I like to connect with people. I'm a very like face-to-face kind of person. Like I really want to meet you. So yeah, I just think like getting out there and being on the road. I love the sense of travel as well. So like I think that has a little bit to do with it. Like just getting out there and meeting all kinds of people.
I love that.
I got several friends in here asking me to bring you guys to South Carolina, so we got to figure out what it's going to take to bring you guys.
I mean, y'all need to come to Texas, though. Texas.
Yeah, we come to Texas a lot already. Well, but only in East Texas.
Yeah, the Dallas area is where we tend to go to.
Where are you?
Come to Austin.
Okay. Austin's very much like we keep saying we need to get to Austin. So
I will bring the whole dance community. Let's go.
Okay.
Cool. And where are you at in South Carolina specifically?
I'm in Charleston. Have you guys been here before?
Okay. Have we played? We played in Charleston once.
We opened for Nitty Gritty Dirt Band in Charleston.
What bar?
That was really cool.
We played a theater. It was a small kind of 800, 900 seater theater.
Yeah.
Very like old. It was beautiful venue.
That's been the Charleston Amphitheater downtown, I assume.
Yes, that's what it was.
That was it.
Okay, got to bring you guys back. I'll talk to some people, but you guys need to have like more than one gig here. If y'all were to come, worth it. That's the problem. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, or something along the way.
Yeah, something along the way. We can always figure stuff out. Actually, when we played with Nitty Gritty Dirt Band in Charleston, we just did that one show. We drove all the way there.
But I mean, who says no to opening for Nitty Gritty Dirt Band? Not us.
I love that. Well, I'm excited to see what happens next year for you guys because, I mean, it's all going to be good things. You guys have the passion for it and the drive, so it's just really amazing to see.
Thank you. Thank you guys so much for having me. here. We really appreciate all the love and support. That's what it takes.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And get ready for more dance videos to Need Neon.
Awesome.
So
I cannot wait.
Amazing.
I love seeing people dance to I Need Neon. It makes me so happy.
Me too.
I love it.
Well, we certainly appreciate you guys coming on. This was a fun talk.
Yeah,
this was great. It's really cool. I hope everyone who was watching enjoyed.
Yeah.
I know I enjoyed it, so that's all I really care about. Is I had a good time.
Yep.
Well, while you guys were playing, I had several people comment that it was perfection. It was amazing. You guys sound great. So you guys got a few compliments while you guys were playing.
Thank you. Thank you.
No haters this time then.
Nope. No haters.
The haters will come. I don't know. I get so much hate. I just assume when you're on the internet, people just like to talk shit, and it's just, I don't know. It's what it is.
Yeah, I think it comes with the territory, and it does suck. And I don't think we ever truly are like, oh, it's whatever, because it's someone coming at you. But but I think because I've noticed you posting about calling some of them out, Don, and I think that is the best way to do it.
Okay, I'll be honest with you guys. I do it for two reasons. One, it's something because it just blows my mind. I will wake up at 7 or 8 in the morning, and I get online, and it's just like, you're so short. You're a ball. I'm just like, it's 4 a.m. Or 1 a.m. if they're on the West Coast or whatever. I'm like, do something else with your life.
Exactly. If anyone's commenting that, then they don't have a life.
Yes, it blows my mind. And then I also do it for more engagement, because anytime I post a video where I clap back at a hater, then everybody goes and comments and debates with them, and it just drives the views. And that's where we're at.
I love it.
Yeah, it just gets you more views. It's okay. So you're doing the right thing.
I'm trying. But Tara has a lesson she's about to go teach here in the next
week.
Have fun.
But she's very excited teaching online Zoom dance lessons here.
Yep.
So
awesome. Well, I hope that maybe we can chat and learn more about you guys as well, because these things are always I want to ask you guys questions.
Well,
we can do another one day.
If y'all want to ask me questions, I can hang around for 10 or 15 minutes if you guys want to interview me.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go, and then I'll see y'all soon.
All right, Tara.
Okay.
Talk to you soon.
So good to see you,
Tara.
Bye.